Hello.
Hi.
Sitting on the bed. I get this light better. Yeah, I'm gonna sit like this. Is that like too bad?
No, it's good. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay on till 11 tonight, 11:30 tonight, but
hopefully it's not gonna last that long.
I know. I'm like, oh, sweet baby Jesus.
It is recording. Perfect.
Oh, good. Meanwhile, I'm singing "Sweet Baby Jesus."
And Joe's in here. I've already told him he has to be quiet. Hi, Nikki.
Jinx. Oh.
All right. Let's see here. I'm going to give it about, what time is it? My clock just disappeared.
It's 26.
Okay. There we go. My clock completely disappeared off my computer when I made it go big, the screen.
Oh.
I was sending a message. Okay. I see fingers.
I go, hi.
Let's see if Heather is around.
We could probably turn the recording off.
Can you, well, I want to record it, but can you restart it? Oh, so basically what we're going to talk about tonight, and it's something that I've been noticing a lot lately, and it was funny because I was talking to Sarah about it earlier, and she said they were just talking about the same thing, her and Micah, is we get super excited when we sponsor. I mean, it's exciting. It really is. Like, woohoo! You can't wait to take a screenshot of that email and like send it to everybody. Like, look what I just got. And then all of a sudden it just kind of hits you like a wave, like, oh my God, I just sponsored somebody. Like, what do I do now? And it can be a little scary. I mean, I think we've all been through that. So tonight, me, Elizabeth, and Heather, we're going to talk to you guys about how to be a successful leader and how to sponsor and duplicate what you do. You know, you don't have to be a green, elite, or higher to be a leader. You're a leader the minute you sponsor your first person if you're a white status presenter. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And I'm just going to start off with a little introduction here. So basically, you know, when you sponsor, that's how, if you want to build and you want to promote, you got to sponsor. You got to sponsor deep and wide, keep going, and don't stop. And I know you guys hear a lot of times we say lead by duplication. And what that means is, as a leader myself, and just for example, say I sponsor Elizabeth, I'm going to coach her in what I know. I'm going to teach her everything I know. And then in hopes that she's going to take what I just taught her and she's going to learn even more and she's going to become even more awesome than me. Then when she sponsors, she's going to teach her new person everything she knows, which remember is more than me. And then that person is going to sponsor and teach that person even more because they're just going to keep learning more and more. And what seems to happen a lot is, you know, you sponsor someone, they sponsor, then they sponsor. Well, the two in the middle just completely fell off. They decided this isn't for them. They don't want to sell. But that fourth leg way down here, they're your rock star. And they're ready to go to the top. They're excited, but they have nobody leading them. And so that's why you always want to lead by duplication. You don't ever want to let your rock stars that are 5, 6, 7 levels down slip through the cracks and then disappear. And with that being said as well, I don't care if they're your personally sponsored or not, you treat every single person in your downline like they are yours because it has to take everybody as a whole, as a team, to be able to do what you can do. So I don't care if they're your 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th leg, you treat them like they're your own. All right, so I'm going to pass it over to, how do I unmute Miss Heather, and she is going to talk one of the, no,
Elizabeth's going first.
Sorry. Elizabeth's going to talk about the first steps we need to do when we sponsor somebody.
All right. Hello. I'm Elizabeth. So the very first thing that you want to do is find out what their goals are, because your goal for them might be, you're going black status, we're doing this, we're going big, but they may just want to buy their own makeup and the makeup for their family, their sister, their daughter, mama, whatever. So just because you see potential and a huge network and somebody really outgoing and bubbly, just because you see that they could do awesome sauce doesn't mean that's what they want. So you have to, no matter what, treat their business as their business. You are there to help them meet their goals, but you need to know what their goals are first. So obviously goals change. I joined as a kidnapper. Now here I am, like a team of 142. So goals change. So don't be sad if somebody's like, oh, I just kind of wanted the kit. Make them your BFF. You reach out. I mean, I know it's a lot and people work jobs and stuff like that, but just touch base and let them know that you are there. You're not pushing them. That's the most important thing. You are there for them, but you're not pushing them for your goals. You are there to assist them with their goals. So that is the very first thing that you want to do. And like Denise said, I don't care if I sponsored you, you're my grandbaby, my great-great-grandbaby, I'm going to reach out and say, hey, because each person connects differently with any of their leaders. People might not like me. That's okay. I mean, then my sponsor is Kelly, and then we have Sarah. So somewhere in the upline or sideline, they're going to connect with somebody. So it's very important to kind of know their personality and what they're expecting. So as soon as you get that email, boop, and you're like, yes, 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 what are you going to do? So other than go, because that's what I do. I super excited. So you want to add them to, you feel like, oh, I got to tell them everything. But it kind of goes back to their goals. You don't want to overwhelm them, because just the welcome post that night is enough that I was like, what did I just do? Why am I doing this? I cannot handle all this. Girl, that was nothing. Like, you got to build up to it though. But if you blast them into 14 different groups and tag them in 76 posts, they can be like, oh no, girlfriend, no, not happening. And they're going to back off. So we highly recommend your elite group. So even if you, like, I started a group when I was yellow because I was like, we're doing this. I'm going to the top. I got my own damn group. I got this. So but I just did that for communication. I have a weird job and I work underground and blah. Anyway, so chats work perfectly fine for your group so that you don't feel overwhelmed, because I was like, now I have a group. Now what? So we have our elite group and our black status group. You want to make sure they're in those two groups. And sometimes just your black status group is enough, because you don't want to do too much, because you want to make sure that they're in the unique corporate POP page, the unique family, was it? Unique family POP, something like that. So that's where all of your corporate information comes from. So you want to make sure they're in there. Once they're introduced, you want to introduce them in the groups that you, not the POP one, but the green status or the black status, whichever one, or both of those that you're adding into. You want to, some pages have pinned posts for welcome. Some of them just dump them into the feed for welcome. You want to make a big deal. You want them to feel special and appreciated. A lot of women get into this because they don't have that support and they don't have the sisterhood, and that's why they joined. They don't care about makeup. They want to build friends and be around people and positivity. So you want to make sure that their very first step is, holy cow, look at all these ladies saying hi to me. I don't even know who these people are. So you want to make sure that they feel welcome and they're excited, but not overwhelmed. It's kind of hard to do, especially whenever you're so excited and you just want to put them in everything. But just pace. I always warn them too. I say, I'm going to put you in my team page, which is the elite page for my team, and I'm going to put you in Sarah Long's black status page, which is called Team Inspire. And I explain to them what those groups are and why they use those groups. And then I also say, don't get overwhelmed. You're going to have a lot of people welcoming you. You can't, don't let that scare you, because your notifications are going to blow up tonight. Then once that calms down, I'll make sure that you're in our sample post group so that we can get your launch going. And I've just recently started co-hosting our launch parties, which is probably a whole nother topic, but I don't throw them into those other groups like the Y Unique. If they were like, I'm joining, I'm doing this, and they weren't in Y Unique, you want to make sure they're in it eventually so they can add their future girls into it and the other stuff. You just want the meat and potatoes their first day. They're elite and black status, and welcome them. And then shout out on the wall, because sometimes they're scared. They're like, how do I tell my friends and family? Like, I don't even know what to do. Oh my God. Oh man, people are going to be judgy. So if you are celebrating them on their wall, people are going to be like, hey, what's that? What's that? And be more curious. And they get excited for them too. Denise, I don't think I went on a tangent.
Well, I was gonna say I wouldn't, like she said, don't tag them in a million posts, because yeah, there's a lot of a million posts, but there is one thing I would definitely tag them in. And this is, like I said, this is personally what I do, and I think Elizabeth does it too. So I'll let you talk
about the
website. The pinned post. It will be the pinned in your elites and in Team Inspire.
Yes. There's a welcome page or a welcome post with, here's your first steps. In my page, I have a Word document that can be printed out of, this is what you do. Here's your link to GoDaddy. Here's for business cards. Here, just like the first, like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, that's kind of helped me get through it. And then Sarah's with the Team Inspire, our Inspire Pod. That website, if you're not in there digging around at least like a few times a week, go, you're missing out, because there's a blog in there, there are mock parties in there, there's leadership, there's training, there's videos, like you name it, it's in that website. And I kind of offer to my girls, dig into there, and then we can talk through anything you have questions with. Some come back, some don't. I even share that website often into my team page, because people forget about it. I don't know how, but people forget about it. Like, it's thebomb.com. So ourinspirepod.com, and make sure you let them know Fearless with a capital F is the password. So we've got black status, elite, and the website. Those are your meat and potatoes. Let them know that notifications are going to blow up, but it gets better and it gets less scary. So I think that's everything for mine.
And after they check out that pinned post and they read through it, I actually just sent you a message, Elizabeth, realized talking. Yeah. After they go through that pinned post, and this is what I do. I mean, we're all different what we do, and the girls we recruit and sponsor, they're all different. But I usually tell them, you know what, look over this stuff, look through the website, and if you have any questions, come to me. But take a day to breathe, let it all kind of absorb, look over everything, and then when you're ready, come to me. I've had some girls come to me that night, like, girl, I'm ready to rock and roll. Just went through everything. I'm ready. And I'm like, whoa, we just signed up an hour ago. And then I've had girls come to me like a week later, like, I'm really sorry. It was a little overwhelming at first. I had to step back, but I read everything and I'm ready to rock and roll. And at this point is when I like to talk to them about their first main goals. Okay, now that you're ready and you kind of know the basics, this is where we're going at. And you want to talk about it, Elizabeth?
Yeah, based on what their goals are for themselves, the ones that want to sell, we want to focus on yellow. And, well, the first step is your purple debit card. You want to break it down to baby steps so that it's achievable, bite-sized things that they can hit and go. Because if you say, okay, your first goal is $1,000 in sales, they're going to be like, oh, no, girl. No, ma'am. So the $250. Okay. Now you can celebrate because you just got your little swipey purple debit card. So
unless your name is Melee, and when you sign up the first day and tell her, well, yellow's at 1,000, she's like, I'll have it by the end of the night.
Yeah, then there's that. You'll have some beast mode girls that just rock it out, and they're like, okay, tell me my first 3 goals. I got this. Fast Start, which, as you all know, has really helped break up the Fast Start program, because it used to be, here's $2,000 and 3 people ready to go. So now it's 3 tiers, bite-sized. So purple debit card, $250. Level 1 of Fast Start, $500. Then the number of parties, 5 parties. Tier 2, now you're starting to add people. Now Tier 3 is where that duplication through teaching them, okay, now you have 3 people. Now let's start back here at Fast Start level 1 for you. And that helps them close their Fast Start level 3. So they've really done an amazing program and incentive with that, because that's what we would teach, but there was no small steps unless we broke it down. So you want to just keep everything very achievable for them so they don't feel overwhelmed. But then you will have the ones that are just like, I got this, and just run. you run with the ones that want to run, and you walk with the ones that want to walk. And the ones that want to sit down and take a break, you can pat them on the back, make sure they're breathing, they're good, you're good, and then you can start walking again. So it's 100% about them, how it will benefit them. If you keep that mentality and that mindset, they will appreciate it. Because not everyone's, okay, Denise, I know you joined yesterday, but let's talk about Black status. You know, you just, whoa, like I need how many people? Yeah, yes, future Black status girl, get it. So you just want to keep everything small, bite-sized, and on their terms. Granted, you're going to get through all of that information, and you're going to get to all those groups, and you're going to get to all of those goals. But if they're not ready for it, you feed it to them in bite sizes. So,
and I'm really big about, and you can kind of feel your new girls out, like how they are when they sign up. You can kind of feel their energy, their excitement, and what they're doing like right away. And when I have those girls, I can tell are still a little nervous or a little unsure. Let them come to you. Don't like Elizabeth said, like overwhelm them. Send them messages every day. Like, we got to do this. You got to get your debit card. I message them every day, but I never once bring up unique. I want to know everything about my girls. I want to know when their kids' birthdays are, when how old their dog is or when they got their dog and all this other stuff. And by doing that, they're going to start coming to you because they're going to realize, well, she's here. I'm calming down. I'm breathing a little bit. I got this. So just let them come to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna pass it over to Heather and mute myself.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to knock it over to Heather, and she's going to, the next step after we've got the girls calmed down and ready to rock.
Yeah. So what we're moving on to now is really creating their VIP group and their launch itself. Now, some people do this a little bit different. I know Shannon is on here as well. Shannon, I know sometimes I believe, and she can touch on it if we want to just go to her at some point, about home like I think sometimes you do home parties as like a launch, which is great too. But remember, to get outside of your network, a lot of times you're limited with the amount of people that are that live by you. So what you want to make sure you do is take your little VIP group, come up with a name. One of my girls just did this, and I thought this was a fantastic idea. And this could be after your launch, but she started off with like, Mary's launch part, like whatever, fabulous, unique, whatever, some cute little name. But then she did at the very end, like almost like a, I want to say almost like a game, but come up with a name for my VIP group. And it was really, really cute to see. Her last name is Wright, but it's W-R-I-G-H-T. So somebody came up with the right look. And that's just, so it was something fun and creative. It doesn't have to be something you do at the very beginning of a launch, but I didn't want to forget to mention that because I thought that was just so creative when she did that. So what you're going to do once you've started building the relationship, you've talked to them, you sort of feel them out where they think their launch is going to start. Don't say, hey, we're going to start it on Sunday, and they only joined on Friday. Again, going back to seeing when they think they want to start, sometimes I will reach out to them and be like, hey, we're coming up with the fall launch. This might be a great time to, you sort of, again, handhold side by side with them. I have never had my girls do a launch totally by themselves. I am there with them step by step. The website, Our Inspire Pod, is fantastic because you have that group and sample posts that have mock parties. Besides, you being a presenter obviously have run, or hopefully have run, virtual parties yourself online. So it is really, really helpful that you really do that hand in hand with them. So what I always tell my girls, and just like I tell my hostesses, you have to message your friends before you're going to send them into a group. If it's your launch party, you do not do it in events. You do it as a group, because your launch party is what's going to become your VIP group. Those are your girls and your family, your neighbors, whoever, that you feel that they know you, they'll support you. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time before they catch the unique bug. I can say that from my in-laws side. I've been in this business now for 2 years, and it was only about a year and a half in when all of a sudden one or two of them started buying. So whoever you put in that group, those are the people. That's fine. I was going to say, Elizabeth said she never had the launch party going on. So what I typically do with my girls, so we look at the website. I have them come up with a message, but if they're having a little bit of a hard time, I have a little blurb. And I loved what Micah always says. And I always think about this whenever I'm trying to send a message. You want it only as long as for them not to scroll. So just basically what fits on a phone, and that is it. You don't want it, because I'll tell you right now, it turns people off. Nobody's going to take a chance and read, I started this business and I did XYZ. No one wants to hear it. Little short thing explaining how they're excited and all to their friends and family when they start their VIP group. And this is really where the duplication comes into. What's still in my VIP group as my pin post is what my sponsor gave me, and I use it. My pin post always talks about how do people shop, shipping, what are our shipping policies, because people always want to know what is shipping. Sorry, I'm trying not to look at the comments, otherwise I'll get sidetracked. The link, of course, to browse. I don't say you just got to be careful with your wording. And then I also put, because I think this is very, very important for direct sales, especially our company. A lot of direct sales companies, when you have somebody that hosts a party, all of those orders are held off until that darn party closes. We aren't like that. So it is so important to make sure that that's out there to their guests, their customers, their friends. So I make sure that's in my pin post. Now, I lead them. I teach them to go by themes. We go through what they feel comfortable with. I know me. Lives were not around back in the oldie days when I started. Back before then, there was no lives. It was recorded video and photographs. I make sure I teach by example that I am not just putting up, I'm just grabbing something because it's here. I don't put up just a picture of, what is this? Night correcting cream, okay? I would never, ever just put a bottle. And this is where I learned, because I was not taught this. And this is why I want you to make sure you're teaching your girls this. Don't just put a picture of a bottle. People are going to scroll through that, okay? You want to make sure you have pictures of you in the mask, that type of thing. If you don't have any, there's tons in Inspire. In the sample posts group, there's places to get photos. Reach out, make sure the girl that you sponsor realizes they can come to you and be like, hey, I don't have a picture of, I don't know, Jubilant Splurge, and somebody had a question about it. But again, showing a bottle is not going to get the sales, but that is not the number one thing having to do with a VIP and launch. And that's what I want to go into. So I'm talking about the pin post. I'm telling you to have them message their friends. I'm also going to tell you that you want to help them from the beginning. You're there helping, feeding them posts, explaining that the first day, I never do products. It's more of an introduction. Have them post a picture of them opening up their kit, or a video if they feel comfortable enough to do that. You have to feel out your group. I don't go live constantly in my my parties. I feel the recorded videos that are 3 minutes or less that are better. So this is what I suggest though. You might want to go live in the very, very beginning with your girl. We now have that option of doing the duels, where you can have, like Denise and I can go on and do makeup together. That probably will help get them into the habit of being a little bit more comfortable if you do it dual. The last few things that I just really want to talk about. This is what I do personally. I started it a while back. I don't remember who I got the idea from, but one of the first things that I make sure I tell them and explain that they're my that I've sponsored, I'm their sponsor, and please feel free, reach out to Mary, who I sponsored, before Mary can reach out to me if she has questions. Okay. You want them to build trust that Mary's going to get the answer that they need, and if she doesn't know the answer, that's when she says, I'll find out the answer. Okay. This is what I have found has worked. I tell the people right from the beginning, and then I remind them again towards the end. If Mary gets 4 bookings, okay, I will raffle off a prize. And I used to do the mineral pigments. Now I would probably do a liner. I mean, you could do something else if you don't want to do something that big. You could do, you know, one of the mask samples or a mask set of 3, something like that, to raffle off. But learn again from my mistake. Do not raffle it off until all parties are held, okay? Because I had a girl one time last year win a full-size product and then never hosted for that girl. So shame on me for not I realized that afterwards, but it's really important during launch to get those bookings. That's what your main primary focus is, to help your girl get bookings, okay? I personally do that. Like I said, if they get 4, then I get to, they get to get a prize. Whatever you want to do, you don't have to. The other thing I've done before, I really feel out the group and see how it's going. If there aren't a lot of orders going in, what I sometimes will say is for the first 5 orders, I'll give free shipping. And then I just refund them through PayPal, the shipping. So it helps get the orders. The girl starts getting to her 250. She qualifies. It helps them in that way as well. But the main thing is that's more at the end, more towards the end if she's not getting those orders. Let me see if there's anything else. I think that's pretty much all I have down for these things. But again, it will then they'll change their name from the launch to, it's funny, I have my fan on and there's a skunk outside. I'm trying to ignore it, but the smell's getting more and more strong. Sorry. I'll just talk like this. Shannon, I think, has done launches at home. If she wants to if you guys don't mind, if Shannon's still on here. There she is. I'm like, I had to scroll over to see you, girl. Now, you've done that before, right? Where you sort of team up with a girl to do a home launch, or no? Or am I making this shit up?
I was just jumping on to support you girls, and I'm like,
and I'm throwing you in.
Okay.
You don't have to speak long.
Yeah,
just in case somebody does live close, because we all know how home parties do very well. So you don't have to talk a long time.
You just said I don't have to speak long. You guys know you're going to have to do a buzzer to make me shut up.
I'll do wrap it up. I'll do a wrap it up.
No, I'm so thrilled that you guys did this tonight, and I'm glad to see some of my babies and grandbabies on here. Yes, the launch parties, and I do want to add, which is great that we do these types of things, because we really do. We all run our business differently. Different things work for all of us. And the one thing that I always say is that there's so much training. We have amazing leaders. Like, take it all in and make your own potion. Like, make your own unique potion, okay? And that's what's really good about this leader team, is that, I take a little bit from Elizabeth and Denise and Heather and Melissa and Sarah and everything, and then I just kind of make my own potion, and that's what makes us unique. So, definitely stay true to yourself. But the launch parties, yes, I personally, every new presenter, I do everything that the girls had said earlier, and I always set, have them set up the page, only add me to it, and then I set it up, because they're brand new, they don't have graphics, they don't have the kit yet, they're really overwhelmed. So I, help them set it up, and I do it side by side, because in that way they don't feel overwhelmed. Because I've noticed the girls that don't get that launch party started right away, you kind of lose them. The other big thing is relationships. Oh my gosh, relationships. Okay, so I've said this from the very, very beginning. I say babies, grandbabies, great grandbabies. I don't use first level, second, and third. A lot of us do that. It doesn't matter. Whoever is on your team, reach out to them, welcome them, introduce yourself, build that relationship from the beginning. Because here is so true. So you guys hear us talk about Lauren Pipak, Carly, Micah, Sarah. Okay, here's the thing. Lauren did not sponsor Carly. Carly did not sponsor Micah. Micah did not sponsor Sarah. There is somebody in between them, okay? You've got Denise, Elizabeth, and Heather on here Sarah did not sponsor them, okay? But because Sarah built that relationship with them, because people are going to come and go. They are going to come and go. And here is the thing. If you don't build that relationship from the very first day, you're going to lose some amazing ladies. So if Sarah hadn't built those relationships with Denise, Heather, and Elizabeth, you know, look, they are elite orange status presenters. They're rock stars. She would have missed out on that. But so you got to build those relationships from the beginning. My actual elite that just promoted is my grandbaby. It's not my baby, you know. So, and that's okay that if your baby's, you know, again, we all do this for a different reason. Carol's mom, my unique baby, she's amazing. She just literally had a real life baby in real life, you know. She's there to support and cheer on and be there for her, but her being a green status is just not in the cards for her at this moment. So the relationships are so important. You've got to love on your team. I definitely probably handhold my team's hand a little too much, but that is what keeps them going, because even as elites, all of us, here's the thing, because I got to say this, all of us elites, we go through every single emotion that you guys do. We want to quit. We think we suck. You know, our life is crazy. I say this all the time too. Every single person is busy in this world. Every single person. We are all busy people. Every single person in this world is going through something, okay? You see us and we put our happy faces on and et cetera, et cetera. What you don't see is us falling apart too. So keep that in mind, because I think sometimes as we progress and climb the ladder, you think that we're like Wonder Woman and Superwoman and we can take on the world, when really we're like, you know? So we're human too, and we really do go through those emotions. The difference is that we just don't quit. Now, is it because we're making sure and we're talking to each other of like, it's okay, Denise, like get back up, you know, Elizabeth, you can do this, Heather, you know, keep it together. Yes, we do a lot of that, okay? So you've got to do that with your team too, of just letting them know that, you know, you've got their back, and it is going to be hard. It is an easy business, just being consistent, but it is going to be hard, okay? It's hard. It's hard work, and we work crazy, ridiculous hours because that is what we are willing to do. Doesn't mean that you have to have that either. So
Thanks, Jen.
thanks. I wasn't prepared for that, but
thank you. I still appreciate it, and I think everybody else does. So.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm blonde. That was not even the dang question. Okay.
That's all right. We'll come back.
Let me make this short. By the way, I'm like super blonde and I really just get sidetracked. Okay. So when we say anybody can do this, anybody can. Okay. Yes. Home parties. Okay. So for me, and the leader team will tell you, I am totally old school. Like I am so old school. I can't even find, like I have a home phone, people. Like I'm on an actual computer, okay? I don't text. I am seriously old school. But it's kind of nice because old school meeting new school really benefits, okay? So on my team, if they are local, because majority of my team really is within driving distance, okay? If they are local and they want to have a home party, in other words, they're going to have a party at their house, they're going to invite all their friends, okay? I go over there and I help them how to have a home party, okay? Because here's the thing, 100%, that's why I sell the astra crazy nomical amount of stuff. We all learn this. Once they get it on their face, you guys, they go nuts. It's like crack. They want more, okay? And it's harder to get that through a computer. Don't misunderstand. Virtual online parties are a must, because that gets you to network. But I go over there and I take my stuff, and I have more stuff because I've been in the business longer. So they're able to tell their friends, look, this is your one time to come and see it all, okay? And it's the best way that I can train them. And what's nice too is that you are building that relationship with the ladies there, and that helps my new girls to sponsor right out the gate, because I know the verbiage, I know the wording and all of that kind of stuff. So I don't do a lot. I don't do them a lot. But it's an option. I personally love play dates, and that's a whole nother thing. That's where just people come over
That's
and play.
a film for another day.
Complete another day. So yeah, so don't be scared to do both. I feel that both are really important, that on hand, you know, in person, in hand kind of thing, and then also the online stuff.
I agree, because that's one of the things I know. I mean, granted, we have a fantastic kit right now. This is going to help us sponsor even more because and free shipping. What woman doesn't like free shipping? So that's going to help. But when you do have those extra products that they might not have, it also gets them to see it in their hands to be like, oh, you know what? I do want to put that on my wish list. So thank you, Shannon. I appreciate it. All right, Denise.
Can I add
Yeah.
add one more thing? I'm so sorry, Denise. Because you guys are talking about sponsors, and I swear I will shush them up. Here's the one thing that really and truly, when it comes to sponsoring, you guys, everybody is so terrified to share the opportunity. The one thing from this moment, whether it's the opportunity, whether it's hosting a party, whether it's buying product, whatever it may be, remember, some will, some won't. So what? Someone is waiting. There's 7 billion people on this planet. Stop being scared to ask, because if you don't ask, you have nothing. If you ask and they say no, you still have nothing. You're not losing anything. Fear is what holds every single person back. It's the fear of rejection. When you change your mindset and you know you have a great product, we work for a great company, we have a great sisterhood. Really, when people say no to me, I think, God, I just feel so sad for them. When you start thinking that way, it's so much easier to ask, because if you're going in asking with the mindset, well, she's going to say no anyways, you're always going to get a no. So that is the best advice that I can give you, ladies, is that it's okay if they say no. Feel sad for them, okay? It's not a reflection of you.
Thank you, Shannon. All right, Denise, bring it back to you.
Sorry, I'm still muted. I was going to say something real quick, Heather. Actually, a question that we had come in from Angela, and I can kind of link it to parties a little bit. And I was going to answer. I was going to see also what you want to throw in, because it is kind of about parties. Let me pull it up again real quick. She was basically asking, what is some good wording for new presenters to reach out and try to get customers? And I think it's going to tie in a little bit what I'm going to say, and a little bit what you're going to, a little bit kind of what you posted about, talked about with parties too. So I'll let you finish with that, and I'll kick off with my version of that answer.
Okay. Putting me on the spot. I'm like, you had time to prepare, girl. I mean, typically, I'm like trying to think how I do it. Now, I don't know if she's asking specifically about how to get the ladies in the launch party. I have to read the actual thing on what she wrote.
And I'll read it one more time. I accidentally got rid of it. Angela, will you type it into the chat real quick if you're still in here? Basically, say what is some good wording for new presenters to get customers?
See, I don't.
And I don't jump into that.
I don't treat people as customers. I guess that's probably it. I treat them more as friends and building that relationship, because there's no specific wording that I use to say, you can't be salesy. You can't say, that's why I say, honestly, I don't look at people as customers. They're more my friends. And I've just extended my friends, throughout the United States type of thing. I really don't. I don't look at them as that way, but it all has to do with building those relationships and working your way down. And by what I mean by working your way down is, when you have somebody host for you, you're not only building the relationship with the hostess, but you're building relationships with their friends. And then naturally, because of building that relationship as a friend, they do become customers. Getting to know them. I mean, I will ask, like, are they an eye person, or are they a lip person? Something like that. I'm going to look at what she just wrote, but hold on one second. One of my babies.
And I have something, Heather, I can add to that as far as Denise, what just another idea suggestion. When it comes to new presenters, okay, and the launch party, this is what I train on and teach my girls, okay? When you are starting this launch party, I find, like Heather said, relationships. But what I also find is that I focus on helping people to learn tips, tricks, and techniques. It's not about buying something. It's giving them value. So I think if you go at that angle also of like, hey, I've just started Younique. I have this launch party. My sponsor is going to be in this party with me. It's the best way that I can learn. And she's going to be helping me to better, to become better at this, and learning tips, tricks, and techniques. Because really, when you give people value and you teach them something, and it's not about the sale, that's the biggest thing. And that's why we say all the time, share it, don't sell it. So when you give them value and you're teaching something, and you're not like buy, they become entranced with that. Oh my gosh, I learned how to cut my tube in half and get all of my product to save money, and I cut my Shine Wipes in half and get 72 out of it instead of 36. Then they will open up.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I have to say, when I have my girls send messages, it's more like, hey, I'm so excited. Whether they be a past customer, I fell in love with the product, I fell in love with their mission. What they stand for behind the Younique Foundation. Honestly, what they're going to message their girlfriends about getting into that launch to gain, have them as friends, it all has to do with why they started. And yes, I agree 100% with Shannon about the tips and tricks. That is one of the biggest things, and I feel why I'm so successful with my online parties is because I really approach it as a teaching tool for them. That I am teaching them how to put on eyeliner, teaching them how to do contouring, that type of stuff. Because I'll tell you, some high schools had home ec and all that nonsense, like home ec, and there was no class teaching you how to, do that type of stuff. So unless you had someone in your family or a friend that was teaching or was in theater like I was, you didn't have it. So it's important for them to go in it as they're trying to learn as a teaching experience, but that they are going to learn a lot about skincare and makeup and that type of stuff. All right, Denise, I'm muting myself. It is all you to wrap us off.
All right, thank you so much, both Heather and Shannon. So basically, what we've learned so far is, how we kick our new presenters off, our new sponsors, how we feed them into the world of Younique, and you're going to start the launch party. I'm going to give my input real quick, Angela, on yours. My biggest tip that I give all new presenters, and a lot of them are going to tell me like, okay, I'm new, I'm not getting any orders. And no one's asking me, no one's buying. Well, the first thing I'm going to say to them is kind of like one of those IT questions. Is it plugged in? When your computer's not working, what's the first question you're going to look? Is it plugged in? So if no one's buying from you, do people know you sell Younique? Do people know what you're doing? So my very first thing I tell everybody, let the world know. Scream, I am Younique. This is me. This is who I am. And this is what I'm doing. Make a post, just like, hey guys, I just want all my friends to know I am now a Younique presenter. This means the world to me, whatever they want to do. If you have any questions, you can come to me. Message their friends. I tell them all, get in your messenger. And that's one of the things that you will hear me about any single training I do. Get in your messenger. You got to get in your messenger. That's where it's at. You have to message people. So get in their messenger. Let them message their friends. Hey, girl, I'm now a Younique presenter. Just want to let you know. And if you ever need anything, let me know. Don't search for a response. Don't word vomit. Don't, throw out there like, here's the link to my catalog, blah, blah, blah. Let them come to you. But just let them know who you are and what you're doing. That's my biggest tip about that and what I tell everybody. Okay, so they got their launch party going. They've been through the website. They know what their first goal needs to be, 250 PRS because they're going to get their little pretty purple debit card. A lot of times this has happened where they come to me, messaging me, freaking out. Oh my gosh, I can't do this because I have a girl asking me what foundation she should use and what her shade should be. Or, oh my gosh, what kind of mask should she wear? Or what kind of, color of this? Breathe. First off, tell them just to breathe. And this is something I do. And of course, everybody is different. This is how I lead by duplication. I'm going to do this for my girls, and I know all of my girls are going to do it for theirs. I kind of, in the beginning, I feed my girls their lines. I'm like, what is that guy? Heather Cyrano de Bergerac or whatever. Am I saying it right? Something like that. When my girls, I'll tell them, well, show me what your customer's asking. Show me what they're getting asked. And I basically type up a short little spill for them, like, hey, girl, just, if you're looking for foundations, what kind of skin tone do you have? What kind of, you have oily, dry skin. And then I send that to my girls. And what my girls do? They will copy and paste that to their customers. And then they're going to send it right back to me. What I do basically by doing this, you're not doing the work for them. Don't think of it this way, because you know what's going to happen when that girl gets asked a week down the road, hey, what kind of foundation should I wear? What's best for my skin type? They're not going to come to me saying, Denise, what do I need to say? They're not going to freak out, because by me feeding them their lines and helping them out that way and being there every step of that way, they know exactly what they need to say and they know exactly what to do. So look at it as a learning experience for them, not that you're doing the work for them. Now, that being said, you are going to have that girl who's going to keep coming to you every single time, even 3 months down the road. It's going to happen. Like they totally miss the whole objective that this is a learning experience and I'm not going to feed you your lines every day. It's going to happen. But the ones who want this, the ones who are really, they have high sights, they have, high goals, they're going to know exactly what you're doing. They're going to figure it out. Another thing as a leader, and I'm sure Elizabeth, Heather, and Shannon can all tell you this. I think the number one thing, and before I say this, I'm not pointing fingers, everybody in this chat right now has done this at one point or another. We have messaged our sponsor, and what is the first thing we say? I am sorry to bother you. Don't say that. As a leader myself, I will tell you this, every single time I open my inbox and I see I am sorry to bother you, and all 100% honesty, that breaks my heart, because it makes me sit here and wonder, well, what did I do to make my girls think she's bothering me? Like I'm here to help her. And then I think back, I did it. I know everybody in here has done that at least once or twice, if not more. And I just always let my girls know you're not bothering me. By being there for them every day, by talking to them, getting to know them, helping them in their business, and letting them know they can come to you, they're not going to feel that way. I'm going to use Mile for an example, of course. Again, I believe me and her had that relationship established where, the first week or two she was saying that to me, but now I will look at my inbox and it literally says, yo, girl, I need your help. Like, what's this answer? Like, there's no more apology there. Like, who cares about that? Like, I know she'll help me. And that's what your leader wants from you. That's what they want to hear. They want to know that, that you're not afraid to come to them. Make your girls feel comfortable. Check in daily with them. How are you doing? Another thing with the whole check-in dailies with them, half the time, I don't ever mention business. And you know who to mention business to and who not to. When I start my conversation, I'm going to start it off as, hey, how's it going? How's your day? How's the children? How's the family? How's the dog? And you work into it, but let them know that you're there, that you're not only using them as a business aspect, but you're there, to build that relationship with them, to let them know this is a team effort, that we're all in this together. Don't just check in with your personally sponsored. If you are still a white status presenter and you have one girl underneath you and she sponsors someone, like Shannon and Heather were saying, like, check in with them too. They're your family too. Get to know them as well. I'm pretty much just kind of touching back where everybody else was going with. But like I said, my biggest thing is with my girls, after I feel like they've got everything in place and got their parties in place, is feeding them their lines. That scene, Heather, not Heather, Elizabeth, you're going to make me lose it here in a second. You're laughing. Me and Elizabeth are not allowed on Zooms together a lot of the times because something happens. Okay, and I see Kayla now down there laughing, so she must be in this too somehow. Like, we'll just start laughing, or someone will smile, then we just totally lose it. We lose focus and everything we're doing. Anyways, I lost focus. Feed them their lines. Let's go. Let me regain my thought. I am so sorry. Okay, another thing real quick too about branching out. When you get those girls who are ready to do a party, and they're ready to do a party for someone outside of their launch party. They don't need your help anymore in the launch. They're roll on their own. But they're struggling to find a hostess. This is something I had hit yellow. And then right after I hit yellow, I happened to stumble across a YouTube video. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I wish I knew this before I tried going for yellow. And this is something you can tell your girls is find 10 people, 5 to 10 people who will not tell you no. That could be your mama. That can be your sister, a cousin, your best friend. 5 to 10 girls who will not tell you no. Half the time, if you look through my inbox, I don't tell people like, I think you'll be really good at this. I think you should join me. Or have you ever thought about this? Or, hey, would you like to host a bash for me? If you look through my inbox, because people know how I am, you know what it's going to say? Yo, girl, I need a hostess. When do you want to start your party, today or tomorrow? Or, hey, you know, like, or I'm not going to beat around the bush, or you got to join Unique, or just dropping a hint here and I'm going to throw the picture in their inbox. Like, that's how I do things, because that's how people know me. And like every single one of my best friends and my family members, I told them just that, like, sorry, you ain't got an option. We're hosting a party. When do you want to start it? Find those 5 to 10 people that you can totally talk to like that, and get them to tell your girls this, and get them to start parties. And look at it this way. If a party averages at $100 and they found 10 people who won't tell them no, your girls are yellow in 10 days. And even if one party has $0 in sales, one might have $200 in sales. But if they can find 10 people who are not going to tell them no, and they start 10 parties and literally just copy and paste in those 10 parties what they want to do, they could be yellow in 10 days. But my biggest tip to everybody, my biggest thing I want everybody to know is to lead by duplication. And when we touched on that in the beginning, and I'm going to touch on it one more time. Train your girls on what you know. Train the girls that you sponsor how you would want them to train their girls. Look at it this way. If one day you're pushing for Black status, if that's what you want and that's what you see, you have to have an exclusive underneath you. What an exclusive means is that they have an elite underneath them. Well, that means they needed to know how to train that elite, how to make that girl an elite. And that was your job to make that girl, your first girl, an exclusive. So you want to train your girls and coach your girls how you want them to coach their girls. And then when their girls get somebody, they're going to know exactly what to do. And it's kind of like I said before, and it's the biggest thing that I carry with me every time I get a new presenter. I'm going to teach my girl everything I know, but you know what she's going to do? She's going to learn more. And then she's going to teach that girl everything she knows. And that girl's going to learn even more. So it's just going to get bigger and better down the line. We don't want 4th and 5th lines, slipping away these rock stars because they weren't trained correctly. And that's another reason why you want to keep in touch with every single girl that is new in your downline. Every single girl that enters your team, keep in touch with them. So at this point, let me unmute Heather and Elizabeth. Are there any questions at all about, getting a new sponsor, getting a recruit, specific situations of what you need to do? If you have any questions, I guess pop a hand up or put it in the chat. I don't want to unmute everybody at once because then it gets really crazy.
No. Yeah, and we're almost coming on an hour too, so I know some people are going to have to.
Exactly. So if anybody have any questions about anything?
I know. I'm like, I got to still shower. I want to go live. I got a list of my lawn.
And I got to give my son a big midnight snack because he can't eat anything in the morning. He's having surgery at 9. So everybody keep him in your thoughts. And it's an emergency surgery that we literally just scheduled, 2 hours ago?
That, yeah.
His tongue split completely in half today. So he has to have oral surgery to fix that. Yeah. Life with boys.
I don't see anything in the chat, so I think everybody's good.
I think everybody's good. But
thank you guys so much for coming on. Elizabeth, are you doing a picture? We're good.
Yeah,
heck yeah. Everybody, get your face up there and smile.
Everybody smile. Hold on. Everyone smile. Everybody look pretty and smile, I should say.
Get in there, Joe. Ready?
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, ladies. I want to thank each single one of you for spending your Monday night on here with us for an hour. I did record this. I am going to try to upload it to YouTube if I can. I'm kind of illiterate when it comes to doing that kind of fun stuff.
I hope you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Denise, Elizabeth, and Heather. Thank you, ladies, for doing this for everybody. Appreciate it.
Yes,
thank you for your input.
Thank you.
All right, bye, ladies.
Bye, guys.